Whew, I am just like feeling myself today. Like I was working with a pretty effed up situation here. You know, like when you put on makeup for the first time in like days and you're like, holy shit, I look like a new person, feel like a new person. That's how I'm feeling. My hair has been just crazy. I'm transitioning to natural, so it is not looking the best right now. So just excuse that, which is why I threw it up. But I feel like I actually did a pretty good job making the best out of this situation right now. Sorry, my Leo rising is coming out. Anyway, hello my weird friends out there and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Tawny Michelle and we are not all love, light, twin flames, and unicorns over here on this corner of the internet. Happy Aries New Moon, bitches. It is here. We are being reborn from the ashes. We are being revamped. Get ready for the sultry, fiery energy of the Aries new moon. Now, as I always say, new moons are subtle. Okay, so they are not as big, bold, and in your face and intense as full moons, but this new moon is different. It will be a little bit more intense because Pluto is involved. Big bad Pluto, Hades, the underworld, control, power, dynamics, you know, all of that stuff, fear, all of that great stuff. But we'll talk about it. There's ways you can deal with it. There's ways you can work through the vibes, so don't worry. And yeah, so if you're new to one of these videos, basically I go into what is going on with the new moon and then I go through each sign. I also have some cards here to pull for each sign for today's video, so keep that in mind as well. Do watch this first part though before you move on to the signs, because this first part is going to give a lot of background on the overarching themes for everybody for this new moon and what you will see in the world. Also, really quick before we start, I do just want to say this really quick because I know I'm probably going to get comments about it. I did not finish all the signs. I am aware, okay? I suck. I know it. It's been a really fucking hard time, okay? I'm not trying to make excuses, but it's just been a really fucking hard time for me, okay? And I've had to really conserve where I'm putting my energy, and that has been towards my astro course lately. That is where my energy is going, but hopefully this new moon video will help you because I will be doing all of the signs in this new moon video, so I got you. By the way, if you don't know, I just started the astrological divination course, my first astrology course, teaching beginners how to learn astrology, how to look at charts, how to read and interpret charts. So if that is something that you're interested in, if you've been wanting to learn but it's just too complex, or you just can't put it all together, or you need somebody like me that can talk and speak on a very simple and basic level to show you, then this course may be for you. Just check everything down in the description below if you want to sign up. You can still sign up. It did just start last week, but if you sign up now, you will get access to the first class so you can catch up, so don't worry. We will also be doing a ritual over on Patreon. As always, I post rituals, whether it's a post, a video, or a live. I do a ritual almost every new and full moon. So if that is something you're interested in, you can get that for $5 each month, and you can cancel at any time. My Patreon is linked down below. That's also where my course is, so yeah. And yeah, anyways, let's get into it. Oh, we have a new moon in Aries. What is a new moon? A new moon is when the sun and the moon align in the sky at the same degree and the same sign. So the sun and the moon are aligned, basically. Okay, and this is what creates a new moon. It is dark, you cannot see it, and that's why a new moon stands for new beginnings and why it's called a new moon. The moon is being reborn in the darkness because everything is born from the darkness, right? Children, babies in the womb, plants, they come up from the ground, right? You can't see them. There doesn't mean that they're not there. And so that's why I say new moons can be a little bit more subtle than full moons, which are really big, bright, and in your face, like here I am, bitch, I am alive. The new moon is a little bit more subtle. And if you hear squeaking in the background, it's my cat playing with this toy, so sorry. I hope it's not too obnoxious for you. So we're having a new moon in Aries at 22 degrees Aries. Let me look up the Sabian symbol for this really quick, actually. Wow. So the Sabian symbol, which is a prophetic vision that kind of describes each degrees of the zodiac. So it can kind of give like a metaphor to what is going to be happening for this new moon that I like to look at, because a lot of the times it's very spot on. But what I was talking about with creation and new moons and stuff, the Sabian symbol for this new moon is a pregnant woman in a light summer dress. It is about internal fulfillment, masculine aggressiveness, and the woman's desire for fulfillment. are integrated and realized in the expected child. And that's very interesting because it goes kind of with my interpretation of this Aries new moon. We have Venus still in Aries, okay, which deals with the feminine energy. The moon, which deals with feminine energy. The feminine energy is being reborn in a masculine sign. So that can be the warrior goddess type of archetype that realizes that her power, that realizes that the fire within her, the desire, the passion, you know, and this can relate to you even if you're not a woman, but it's kind of like an awakening of the warrior feminine archetype, and it's showing us in our lives where we need to face something in order to be reborn. And the reason that I'm saying that is this new moon is squaring the planet of Pluto. With this new moon squaring the planet of Pluto, which is basically the archetype of Hades, the underworld, fear, obsession, resourcefulness, control, power dynamics, power in general, like the dark side of things where we can feel the shadow, the collective shadow, right? There is something with Plutonian themes that is going to come up here that needs to be faced somewhere in our lives with our shadow, with certain power dynamics, control issues, obsession issues, wealth issues, money issues, you know, any kind of shadow archetype, really, you know, fear. So this new moon is kind of packing a punch for a new moon, so to say. It's coming with a level of intensity. It is possibly bringing something of conflict out of the shadows that needs to be faced and addressed this weekend. Now, and the new moon is happening Sunday, by the way, I don't think I said that, around 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so Sunday evening. So do keep that in mind. But there is a period of, there is themes of a newness here, like a refreshing or a new us that is, a new part of us that is really trying to be born, that is really trying to break above the barrier of the ground to come out and bloom, you know? And so somewhere in your life, there's this new beginning happening, but to do that, something needs to be faced with Pluto, something needs to be faced with fears, with the things that hold us back, or even our own power, or where we feel we are lacking power, okay? So something needs to be changed, transformed, or even integrated for us to move forward with this new beginning. Now, the really cool thing about this new moon is that it does have a lot of really benefic help. So Mars, the ruler of this new moon, since the new moon is happening in Aries and Mars rules Aries, is in the sign of Gemini. Mars is sextiling this new moon, as is Jupiter. Jupiter is also sextiling this new moon from the sign of Aquarius. So, and then Mars and Jupiter are in a trine. And so this tells me that with just a little bit of help, with possibly a conversation, a perception change, a change in the way that you're looking at something, your outlook on something, this can create massive change for you and make things a little bit easier for you. That you have help here with this new beginning if you really want it, but it's not going to fall in your lap. You may have to ask for it in some way, shape, or form. You may have to do something, tweak something to get the help, because that's how sextiles work. They don't fall in our lap like super easy. You have to ask for it, or something needs to be tweaked in order for this sextile to really play out in our lives. So moving back to Venus and Aries for a sec here, because Venus is also squaring Pluto in Capricorn, as is this new moon, because Venus and the new moon are only a few degrees away from each other, since Venus was just reborn in the sun. So Venus is squaring Pluto. Therefore, this is literally something happening in relationships, likely, or with our self-worth, with beauty, with things to do with beauty or Venusian things, the things that make us comfortable, style. This is the time to change it up. This is the time to transform your style, to transform the way that, you know, you are doing things, to transform yourself. There is something being addressed here or brought up that this new moon is highlighting with the feminine archetype, with the yin archetype, to do with the shadow. It could also be the masculine archetype, but something to still do with masculine and feminine energy, maybe like how the masculine archetype, the shadow of the masculine archetype, and how it maybe tries to control feminine energy, or even the shadow of the feminine archetype and how it manipulates and controls masculine energy. It may be different for different ones of us, and we may see those kind of dualities, or not dualities, those kind of polarities playing out in the world. So definitely watch out for that. So I was just doing dishes and I thought of something else I wanted to add in here really quick, basically. So also watch out for temptations with this Venus-Pluto aspect and the new moon building into a square with Pluto as well. Temptations, seduction, also extremes, taking something good to an extreme. Be very careful with that as well. Taking something pleasurable to an extreme. I mean, Venus-Pluto can be affairs, shady shit going on with Venusian themes, or shady challenges to Venusian themes, relationships, etc. Now, don't worry if you're feeling stable in your relationship, then you're probably fine. It may just be that, a fear comes up or a worry comes up that you need to address with each other, or a shadow aspect or something. That's how it's probably going to be for the majority of people, but we may see like scandal or something like that in the news, or crime or something like that in the world, is why I'm bringing it up. Just watch for those themes. So and watch for them in your own life too when it comes to extremes and temptation. It's a very tempting time, so watch out for that as well, and let me know if you see any of those themes. So that's what I just wanted to add really quick. Pluto deals with transformation, Pluto deals with crisis, Pluto deals with jealousy, obsession, all of these dark, shadowy things, but also rebirth. And so if something can be faced here, if a certain challenge can be faced, we go through the kind of phoenix rising moment, right? We go through a rebirth. But also in certain relationships, over the next week, because remember, these energies can affect us over the next week or two, okay, until we get to the next moon cycle, which will be the full moon in Scorpio. There could be some of those shadowy issues coming up in relationships this week to do with the future, to do with work, to do with authority figures. We could see a massive power dynamic, power play themes happening here with authority figures in the world, but also with Venus and Aries, your individuality in a relationship, your self-worth in a relationship. Are you relying on other people or external forces, external things in the world for your self-worth? And if you are, what needs to change about that? Okay, what can you do to transform that in some kind of way? How can you face something that you've been insecure about, or that you've been hiding, or a certain shadow aspect of your feminine, or for some of you even your masculine side? Okay, so this is really, really coming out this week. And then we also, like I said, have this energy of Mars and Gemini, and which is the ruler of this new moon. So it really is forcing us to be okay with different sides of ourselves. It is forcing us to look at different sides, look at different perceptions, to harmonize something within ourselves. Now, although there may be certain crises or shadowy issues, shadow aspects that come up in relationships, such as jealousy, possessiveness, control, power dynamics, this is a time for us to really harmonize these things, or else they will present challenges in our life. So if something does come up that seems like a challenge, or that seems like a conflict in some way, this is your chance to really look deep within and not try to blame other people or external influences, or try to use external influences to manipulate or control these aspects of yourself. This is to take accountability. This new moon is very much also about integrity and authenticity and being authentic to yourself. There may be a lot of themes that come up that really kind of challenge your integrity, that challenge you in some way to go against yourself, okay? You also really want to watch out for shady money dealings, shady deals, shady anything with, because Venus is very financial, deals with money and stuff like that. So watch out that you are not doing anything shady with money. Something shady. Just don't be doing something shady, whether it's with relationships or money. This is not the time. And also, you know, you may not even really realize it until it's happened. So just be kind of a little bit more aware of that. I'm not saying that's going to happen to everybody, but that's just a possibility of something that could happen here. Okay, so, and now we are also possibly at a kind of pivot point from where we were in January this year, but also January last year. So there could be some kind of things coming up at this time that this is kind of where we get in the journey of like, okay, you know, we are entering into a whole new time frame, but we are also kind of at the halfway point, or at the first kind of challenging point since January this year. And you could also notice things coming up from January last year as this new moon is squaring the spot that Saturn and Pluto were conjunct last year in January. So some of you guys can notice some things coming back around from that time. But you know, Venus was conjunct Pluto back in, I believe it was January. So yeah, we are kind of seeing a different perspective on January or even February, just sometime in the beginning of this year. And also Venus is on her way to move into her home sign of Taurus, where she can kick her shoes off finally and like be like, yes bitch, I am home. And she is going to party it up because she's going to meet with Uranus. Okay, so she's going to want to go a little bit crazy, a little bit wild. She's going to want to do something eccentric, different, unique. She is going to want to express herself authentically, like all the way, and we will start feeling that way. But first, right before she moves into Taurus, she has to kind of have this challenge with Pluto. She has to face something has to be faced here that's been in the dark. Okay, so that's kind of the general theme of this new moon. So definitely let me know if you notice these themes, or if you've already noticed these themes coming up over the next week or two. And we're gonna go ahead and get to the signs. Okay, so Aries, let's go ahead and start with you, since this is your new moon, baby. I hope you guys are feeling the new moon vibes. It is literally a new you. New moon, new you, boo. Okay? And this is a very transformative new moon. This is not just like your average new moon, because Pluto is involved here. Okay? And Venus is in your sign. So this is a time, Aries, where it is going to be important for you to really set intentions on how you want your year to go, especially if you just had your birthday, or especially if you're an Aries rising. Okay, like this is going to be the time. If you're an Aries moon, this new moon, you may be feeling a little bit more emotional. You may be feeling a little bit more into your internal self. You know, you may be seeing some things about yourself that you don't normally do. And that could be the case as well for Aries sun and moon, or rising as well. But anyway, so yeah, so this new moon is definitely bringing out a new you. Okay, a new you, new ideas, new goals, new things that you want to do in your life. A new part of you is kind of being born right now, new beginnings, okay, new beginnings, but something needs to be faced here. There's a certain fear of the future, fear of certain goals, achievements, certain shadow aspects to do with your future, with your achievements, what you've achieved in your life, you know, your life path. You're also possibly authority figures, okay, Aries, that you may need to address before you can move forward, before you can really embrace this new you that is being born right now. There's something that needs to be faced, and whatever it is, it's just going to be important that whatever happens that may feel out of your control, or may feel chaotic or uncertain or edgy, or may scare you in some way, this is a time where this new moon is like, okay, yes, these are all the what ifs, these are all the fears. What can you control and what can't you is really what it comes down to. And I know that sounds really basic, but you have to get real with yourself. Is there anything that you can do about these fears that you have? Are they even relevant to your life right now? You know, are they even relevant to your life? So we have retreat, we have unlimited possibilities, we have growth. So Pluto is very like psychological as well. So a lot of these fears could be like psychological fears that you have about the future that may not necessarily be the case, you know, like it could just be a lot of worry. Wow, okay, so we have all Pentacles here. We have the Seven of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles. So this is a time where you are building something new, Aries. This is a time where you are building something new. Wow, we even have the moon cycles in this Queen of Pentacles here. This is a time where you are building something new in your life, okay, where you are maybe not going to see the results from it right away, but they're coming. And once you do, you will see that it was worth it. Okay. You will see that you did what you had to do and that's how it went down. Now, there may be more of a practical kind of like realistic vibe going on around this time as well with the Queen of Pentacles here. You may be feeling more grounded. It may be very important for you to ground more. It may be very important for you to get out in nature. And yeah, so basically what I'm really getting from this is that do not psych yourself out. You know, there are some things that are out of your control, but this is a time of keeping it simple. You know, like your energy, Aries, is simple and to the point. It's not, if it starts getting chaotic, overwhelming, keep it simple, get it back down to what do I need to do right now? What's in front of me right now? Okay, I have this fear. I need to face it. What is it? I need to accept it. Can I control it? Can I do anything about it? Can I change anything about it? If not, then okay, then it is what it is. We'll see how it goes, you know, like for now, I'm going to do this, you know, and so take it right back down to that notch. This is a time where your relationships are possibly being transformed as well, where you are seeing some shadow aspects in your relationships or with the relationship to yourself as well. So that is what I'm getting for you guys. Hopefully that resonates. Definitely feel free to let me know down below. And we are going to move on to the sign of Taurus. So for Taurus, this new moon is happening in a place for you that deals with retreating, seclusion, kind of getting out of the normal everyday world, getting away from your job, getting away from, you know, the things that you do on a day-to-day basis. Something may happen that and like kind of takes your attention away from the day-to-day stuff, you know what I mean? And so this is a great time to catch up on rest because your ruling planet Venus is being reborn, was just reborn, and now she's, you know, going through this challenge with Pluto. So you may be seeing a lot of shadow traits about yourself over the next week or two. You may be seeing things that may scare you about yourself, or things that you may even like not necessarily like about yourself, that you need to transform in some way, that you need to alchemize in some way, that you need to do something different with in some way. You know, this could be bringing up issues with your belief systems, issues with your outlook on life, issues with your perspectives on life. You know, something needs to change. You know, there's something that you really want, I feel here, Taurus, but you also kind of feel like that means that it goes against your view in some way, or it goes against what you were taught or what you thought you knew, or it's out of your comfort zone. And so you may have to transform your views to get to whatever this thing is that you want. So, oh wow, okay, so we have the Queen of Cups, the King of Wands, and the Ten of Cups. These cards are so big. I really like them, but they're like huge. Okay, wow, so yeah, like I was saying, Taurus, this is a time of, because it's happening in your 12th house sector, and maybe bringing up some past patterns and emotions that you need to face. There may be a certain worry as well that is coming up. And so this is a time of really owning, you know, you're coming into a time of really owning your independence. You know, your sign in a fire sign is like you are embracing independence, you are embracing authenticity, you are embracing being more direct, assertive. You know, how can you assert yourself a little bit more? How can you balance out these masculine and feminine energies within you to get to what you want? 10 of Cups, okay? Let's see what these other oracle cards have to say as well. So Taurus, this is a brand new beginning for you when it comes to clearing out the past, clearing out issues from the past, seeing things from a new perspective, going into something that you've been avoiding, or, you know, even catching up on rest. You could be wanting to maybe kind of take like a vacation, or, you know, kind of get out of your normal everyday routine in some way. This is that time because, you know, it may be very hard for you right now to concentrate in your day-to-day life because you just want to get away. You know, you may be feeling like, I just want to escape, or I just need a break. You know what I mean? And that break is what's going to help you get your mojo back. That break is what's going to help you see something from a new perspective, have a new outlook. We have the Death card, we have Home, and we have Omens. Wow, so there could be a lot of signs right now, a lot of synchronicities. Okay, watch out for omens, watch out for synchronicities, watch out for signs, watch out for these things, because if you've been seeing a lot of weird coincidences, they aren't coincidences, they're trying to tell you something. Remember that. Okay, Home, like I said, I feel like you're getting comfortable with yourself again. You're getting comfortable with a new version of yourself, okay? And Death, like I said, transformation, change. You are changing, you are transforming, you are doing something new. You are definitely changing the way that you are looking at the world. Your path may be changing. What you thought you wanted for your path may be changing, okay? So that is what I'm getting for Taurus. Definitely let me know down below if that resonates and how that resonates. I would love to hear your feedback, Taurus. Alrighty, Gemini, this energy of the new moon is happening in a place for you that deals with your social circles, your groups, your friend groups, your acquaintances, you know, people that you know of, you know, even people on social media, any kind of networking, any kind of connections in your life, you know. So this is a new beginning here, you know. Around this time, there's something new that may be starting. It may not necessarily be 100% new for you right off the bat, or it may not be 100% seen for you right off the bat, but there's definitely something new here that is kind of blooming in your friend circles and your social life, okay? Your place in the world, you know, it's like you maybe have a new vision for yourself and where you're going, or where you fit in, where you belong, what you're wanting to do. So it really is bringing a lot of that up for you. Now, you know, you are, you know, maybe feeling called to be more in a leadership position with Mars in your sign as well, to embrace and embody more of a assertiveness or a direction, you know. And so you may have been feeling very busy, very motivated to get something out there to the world, or to show something, to go after some kind of hope, dream, or ambition. Yeah, okay, so even we have, you know, the Six of Wands coming up here. So you could definitely be feeling a little popular around this time. And also, the thing that you want to be careful of, though, Gemini, is that Pluto in your 8th house, so financial situations, karmic debts, crises, you know, transformation, sudden changes and shakeups, shadow aspects of yourself, you know, all of these kind of things you want to be really careful of around this time, because these are the things that definitely could be coming up. You know, you are really, really focused on success right now. Okay, you kind of are definitely focused on the future, on your success, on your place in the world, where you want to be, what you want to do, what kind of person that you want to be, what you want to identify yourself as, all of these types of things. But there could be some situations come up that maybe need to be addressed when it comes to your financial life or part of life, your the things that maybe you're not seeing or avoiding. So Gemini, what I would say to you, we have the self-love card. What I would say to you is that make sure, you know, that this could be bringing up something to do with a friend or a group of people, or, you know, something that needs to be addressed or faced in your life with certain people or a certain hope or dream. There could be a certain sense of worry, fear, or something like that that comes up too, but also make sure that, you know, there's not any shadiness going on in this part of your life. Yeah, we have stripping illusion. So you may have been through something where the rose-colored glasses got ripped off, where you were maybe seeing somebody or something for what they really were. That definitely could be the case with you guys, because Mars in your sign has been squaring Neptune and Pisces in your 10th house. So be careful not to put people on pedestals, and you may have recently learned that lesson. Be careful not to, you know, it's because you're so focused and this energy is like excellent for you, and you're feeling, you know, you may be feeling that energy as well. But with the Pluto energy, it's trying to show you something that it's trying to teach you and show you something that maybe you weren't seeing, and you don't want to get involved in any shady dealings. And then we also have the card changes, which really deals with that Pluto energy as well. So, and you also want to make sure that you're not relying on other people for your self-love, that you are finding that balance within yourself at this time, okay? And that's what I'm seeing for you, Gemini. Hopefully that resonates. Definitely let me know down below. And we're going to move on. We are going to move on to Cancer. Okay. All right, Cancer, welcome, and let's get into it. So this Aries New Moon for you is happening in your career sector, your future goals and your path, your achievements, where you want to, you know, receive notoriety and achieve certain things in your future, in your life, your public status, all of that. So there's definitely a new beginning happening here for you, where you feel like, you know, you will have a more of a sense of independence, more of a sense of leadership, or a role of leadership, where you are achieving something that feels more authentic to who you are. And so these seeds are being planted now, but with Pluto in your 7th house, this could bring up some kind of fear or some kind of worry, stress, or shadow aspect in your relationships. Sorry, these cards keep dropping everywhere. So this could be shining a light on something in your relationships, some kind of power dynamics, power plays, something like that. And so you do want to keep an eye out for that right now, because it's going to be kind of prominent with this new moon. Okay, yeah, okay, so we have the sun, which is really good. Okay, so this is really telling me you want to shine. You are in a position where you are seeing your potential, seeing the possibilities. But we also have the King of Pentacles, which, you know, can represent your 7th house of Capricorn. It doesn't have to be a Capricorn, though, in your life that you're dealing with. But and then we also have the 7 of Wands. So this is telling me that even though you're in this place where you want to be seen, you want to shine, you want to focus on your future goals, your aspirations, the things that you want to be known for and achieve in the world, your legacy, there's also this sense of feeling held back or less than, or like somebody has the upper hand over you or whatever. So make sure somebody isn't putting you down, putting your self-worth down, putting, you know, kind of dampening your pride, basically, so to say. And this may be something that needs to be faced, that's been put off for a while. You know, there may need to be some kind of conversation had. And it could, even if it's not another person doing this, maybe it's you doing this to yourself as well, and more so worried about what other people will think of you, or will, you know, I don't know, like what their opinions or if they'll accept you or approve of you or something like that. So this is where you could get a little bit thrown off, but it's definitely showing you some kind of shadow aspect within your relationships with other people and all of that. So, okay, so we have emotional release. Definitely time for that. We have slow but steady. And we have it's all good. So if you are psyching yourself out, if you are holding yourself back, this is the time where it's like it's all good, but there is something that you need to address. There is something that you don't have to put up with. You know, it may not be what it seems. Like, not everybody else's opinion is right? And so I just feel like you need to hear that for some reason. And that also it may feel like something, you know, there's something new beginning that you want to rush towards, that you want to hurry up and get here, but it doesn't have to, okay? Like, it's, you know, it's fine. There's something that needs to be released, okay, first, and then you can start moving towards your goals, okay? So, all right. So yeah, Cancer, basically, don't put up with bullshit from other people. Don't allow yourself to be played by other people. And, you know, this is a new beginning for you when it comes to your future, your legacy, your goals, your achievements, what you want to achieve. And don't let somebody else manipulate you into, you know, not feeling good about it in some way. Don't let somebody else take your power away from you, okay, is what I'm getting here. So, all right, moving on to Leo. So for Leo, this new moon is happening in our 9th house, because I'm a Leo rising. So it's happening in our 9th house of teaching, learning pursuits. So you could be doing something new, beginning something new with learning. You could be seeing somewhat of a future with something new that you are learning or teaching. You know, there's a new path that is a little bit out of your comfort zone that you're taking here in regards to your future and where you want to go. For some of you, it could even be travel. Okay, so you're seeing a new vision here. You're having like a new vision come up for your future. So the issue is that even though it's, you know, you have help with this, you know, you're being encouraged and supported with this new beginning beautifully, but the square of Pluto. So this could be like maybe you want to go on some new journey with some new learning adventure, or for traveling, or something that's getting you out of your comfort zone and teaching you in some way. And there's some kind of fear, worry, or something that happens in your day-to-day life routines, health, that really needs your attention, or something that needs to change, or some kind of shadow aspect to do with your day-to-day, the day-to-day responsibilities that you have, you know, like, so, or even your current job or work. Like, for instance, maybe you're wanting to go learn abroad or something, but you have this commitment to this job, or maybe like you're starting to want to go back to school for something else, but you have this job, you know, or you have this thing that you have to do on a daily basis that involves you to be here and not there where you want to be. And so this could be a time where you are facing these fears, where you are facing these issues with that. So for your cards, we have the Knight of Cups, we have the Five of Cups, and we have the Three of Cups. So this could be a time where also, you know, there's a lot of social things going on with you, with friend groups, acquaintances, social circles, you know, networking, all of that. But you could be feeling a little bit lost right now. It's almost like I kind of feel for Leos, like you are, it's almost like you're getting invited to the party, but you're kind of like, I'm just not satisfied, or my head's not in the right place or something, you know. And that's like metaphorically. I'm not saying you're like actually going to get invited to a party, although that could happen, I guess, for some of you. But I'm kind of getting that like there's something here that you're kind of focused on right now that kind of has your attention from the past. It could be with a relationship or an emotional connection that you have. And there's also this Three of Cups here. So you know, you may be feeling kind of split between two worlds in some way, shape, or form with friends or with a relationship. That could be that this new moon could somehow be showing you or harmonizing something there, but at the same time kind of showing you where something needs to change in your day-to-day routines in life, okay? Where you know, where you may need to change something, transform something, you know, alchemize something in your day-to-day life, where you may need to find your power as well with work, you know? So anyways, moving on, let's see what oracle cards you get here. So we have divine timing and reunion of souls. Wow. Okay, so you could be a little bit let down about a certain event that is happening in your life, or like the timing of something. You could be feeling impatient about something. And we did get the Three of Cups, so it's interesting that we have a reunion of souls. So, you know, this could be, you know, you being around people or reuniting with people, or even some kind of, you know, something old transforming into something new, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like you've been waiting on something or even a person, and something happens, and then there's some kind of reunion, and now there's some kind of new beginning, new seeds being planted. So that's very interesting, Leo. Definitely let me know if that resonates, because you know, I wasn't necessarily originally seeing that from your astrology. That's more of your cards saying these things. So anyway, so yeah, Leo, basically what I have to say to you is that, you know, what you need to know right now is that, you know, you have a lot, you know, a massive vision coming for you. You could do really well within the next couple years if you wanted to. But where are you psyching yourself out? Where do you feel not good enough? Where do you feel like something's gotten out of your control, or like you're powerless over something in your day-to-day grind, your day-to-day work, job, life, routine, the things that you feel like are redundant, that you have to do every day, or your day-to-day responsibilities or commitments that are making you feel weighed down, or making you feel like almost like a slave, you know, like the sixth house rule slavery, you know, so where you feel like you're powerless in some situation, okay? So that is what I'm seeing for you guys. Definitely let me know down below if that ends up resonating, and we are going to move on to Virgo. Alrighty, Virgo-licious. Okay, so this Aries new moon for you deals with your finances or other people's finances, your karmic debts, exchange of money or energy, right? Like give and take kind of energy. Where do you feel like you owe something, or where do you feel like someone owes you? It's also bringing up possible fears, resentments, you know, karmic shit that just feels very karmic, okay? But at the same time, it's a new moon, so it's a new beginning, you know? So this is a time where I feel that you are branching out, getting out of your comfort zone, taking the lead with financial situations in your life, maybe trying to get some kind of new income or revenue for yourself going, getting into investments, getting into business, you know, all of these types of things. This would be really, really good for that type of energy, and you have a lot of help here with that, okay? You have a lot of help here with that, actually. You know, all of this is job and money related, basically. I mean, this is really very much about where do you see yourself, where do you want to go, you know, maybe even having other options for career or other options for work is coming up, like, you know, jobs or crafts that you can do on, you know, a day-to-day basis, or, you know, that you can get good at, that you can kind of build your way up to, basically. But, you know, the issue here is I see that you are dealing with some fears, obsessions, power dynamics, control issues, resentments in relationships, okay? I feel that here you are feeling a bit, yeah, betrayed is the word coming to me right now, but feeling a bit betrayed, or feeling a bit kind of stung in some way by something or someone recently. Okay, wow. A lot of Venus energy here, I will say that, okay? I will say that. So this is a time to really balance something out to do with your love life, your relationships as well, or a certain person. For some of you, this could be your mother. Okay. For others of you, this could be yourself. Okay. You are rebuilding yourself. You are revamping yourself to come back into balance with yourself. We also have the Page of Pentacles here, which, like I said, you're learning something new. You are doing something new with money. You are creating something new with revenue, with investments, etc., or a job, something like that. There's definitely something here that you're doing. So I feel that this is a time to really nurture yourself. To really nurture yourself, because that's going to be the ultimate justice. That's going to be the ultimate truth, the ultimate balance for you at this time. But let's go ahead and see what what these other cards have to say for you, Virgo. So, I mean, basically what I would say here, Virgo, what you need to hear right now is that you have a lot going on at work, in the workplace, a lot of added responsibility, and you've been really driven towards work, but you're finally seeing new possibilities. And as I'm saying that, unlimited possibilities. You're finally seeing other possibilities. You're finally seeing a possible future. You are finally seeing other ways to do things, to work around things that seemed impossible before, okay? Especially with the job and the money situations, especially shared resources, to your partner's resources, or money that you owe to someone else, or money that someone else owes to you, certain debts maybe that you had. So you are finally seeing that you are capable of a lot more than you thought that you were originally. But this is a time where you have to really question, like, your joy, your happiness, you know, what's going to make you happy? What fears do you have about your happiness, about your love life, your romance, your children, things like this, that those are going to possibly come up around this time. We have inner journey, like I was saying, time to come back into balance with yourself, time to nurture yourself, and then we have truth. So there is like a lot of truth vibes coming up for you here with justice and this truth card. So, you know, this definitely is a time where you may need to go within to find your own truth. You know, you need to address something with yourself, nurture yourself, and not abandon yourself, okay, at this time with something that you may be going through or something that you may be confused about or struggling with, okay? So that is what I'm seeing for you, Virgo. Moving on to Libra. Okay, so Libra, this new moon is happening in your opposite sign of Aries, so relationships, okay? A new you has been born. A new part of you is being born. And so a lot of, if you're in a relationship, then you're likely feeling a lot of more like independent energy. This is what I'm going to do. You can go do that, but I'm going to go do this. You may be feeling a lot more energy of like worrying about yourself, or you know, finding your own self, finding what you want, finding your own desires, etc., etc. There's definitely a theme of independence coming up in your relationships. Like, you know, where do we need to find our own things? You know, like, where do we need to do our own things? Where do we need to take care of ourselves? You know, if you're in a relationship. If you're not in a relationship, you could be feeling around this time like you want to start a relationship, or you could be meeting someone new around this time if you are already trying to get in a relationship. You are definitely, there's definitely new beginnings here in relationships for sure. It's like a new dynamic or a fresh start with something. Something is definitely, a new beginning here is definitely happening in your relationships and with the relationship with yourself as well. You know, where do you need to be more authentic to yourself? Where do you need to be more assertive, more direct about your desires and what you want, etc., etc.? So also, though, Pluto is squaring this new moon from your 4th house sector. So there may be some changes, transformations, you know, shakeups coming with the home and the family, or that are happening with the home and the family, some fears about your foundation, about your stability, your security. There may be some confusion, okay? And there could be, you know, this new moon is really shining a light on this. And your ruling planet, Venus, is also squaring Pluto as well in your relationship sector. So there's definitely something here that's being uprooted, or that's being dug up, or that's being looked at from your fourth house, your home, your family, your past as well, something going off the past. There's something here that's being dug up with this new moon that needs to be faced, or a certain insecurity or unmet need even that needs to be faced, or a certain change that needs to happen, okay? So we have the Hierophant, we have the Four of Pentacles, and we have the Seven of Cups here for you, Libra. So I really feel like you are possibly wanting to learn something new, or already are learning something new. You know, there's a certain stability and a sense of order and direction here with this that I feel like you also are trying to save money, to be secure, something along those lines. But there's so much that you want to do. There's so many things that you want to do. And so you're feeling a little bit tempted. This could also be like a temptation. Pluto can be very tempting as well. You may be feeling a little bit tempted. You know, and this is kind of getting you out of your comfort zone in a way as well, getting you out of your comfort zone of your beliefs, of your outlooks, of your morals. So be a little bit careful with that, I would say. There could be a relationship tempting you. There could be a family member tempting you, or something along those lines. Let's see what other cards we get, though, for you, Libra. This is interesting. Ooh, okay, so we have the Death card and letting go so far. And then omens. Okay, so pay attention to signs this week. Be very observant for signs and omens for the next week or two, Libra. We also have the Death card and letting go, like I said. So there is definitely something here that's being shed, or that needs to be let go of from the past, okay? A certain something that maybe you've been holding on to, but that's been an illusion. Okay, that could be it as well. So you have a lot more possibilities, though, than you think. And I feel like you are, the main thing that I'm really getting here for you, Libra, is that you are being kind of put in a position to harmonize things for yourself instead of for other people. So you're being put in a position to worry about yourself, to take care of yourself, kind of like I was saying in the Libra monthly video. You're being put in a position to look at something, change something, to rebirth, to transform the way that you go about things. Whereas you normally go about things always considering others. Well, right now with your ruling planet in Aries, it's like, nah, bitch, like, what about me? You know, what about me? And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. And so with this Pluto energy, it could be bringing up fears, or people maybe even taking advantage of you or walking all over you. So don't let that happen, okay? Do not let that happen. Don't be afraid to speak up, and don't be afraid to assert yourself. And also don't be afraid to feel things that may come up. Okay, so you may have some deep feelings coming up with this new moon. Don't be afraid to feel those feelings, okay, Libra? So, all right, moving on to Scorpio. Let me know down below if that resonated, Libra. Moving on to Scorpio. So, for Scorpio, this new moon is happening in the 6th house of your job, your day-to-day work routines, the things that you do on a day-to-day basis, your schedule each day, your health, your diet, all of that. So there's some kind of new beginning happening with that area of life around this time. And yeah, so that's interesting. And we also have this Pluto square as well in your 3rd house. This could definitely be some kind of difficult conversation that you're needing to have some kind of deep or difficult conversation, getting to the depths of something. You could be learning something new that you're really getting very deep into at this time, deeply into at this time. This could also be, you know, being a little bit, having to be honest about something or having to face something uncomfortable or even toxic in your day-to-day habits, jobs, environment, conversations, meetings, as well. So that could be something that kind of is coming up around this time too that you may want to watch out for. There's something kind of deep that you're having to address around this time. So, or even having to change. You may be having to change your habits, the things that you want to do on a day-to-day basis, like you're having to change or transform in some way. So we have the Page of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Fool coming up here for you, Taurus. So I don't know, this Page of Cups came out when I said difficult conversation, and so I kind of do feel like, you know, there is some kind of emotional or difficult conversation that needs to be had here. But I also feel like this new moon is showing you what's possible for you if you stick to what you're doing, if you're learning something new and also kind of working on some kind of new craft or new skill or something like that. This is showing you what's possible, what's to come. This is shedding a light on what's to come. This is almost like a vision into what you want or, you know, what is going to fulfill you in some way, which is really cool. Let's see what other cards we get really quick here for you, Scorpio. And you also have help here with whatever this is. You know, all you have to do is just kind of tweak things a little bit to do that. So with Mars in your 8th house of money and finance, you know, the ruler of this new moon, you could be trying to start something new with like business or an exchange of services in some way, something along those lines. So anyway, so we have duality coming up here for you. We have movement into balance, and we have honoring your energy. That's what I was saying, and you could be kind of overdoing it lately as well. That could be another thing. You could be kind of overdoing it, which is causing you to have some weird setbacks or blocks coming up lately with your health or with your work or something like that. So this is kind of urging you to find a balance. And we also even have duality here. You know what I mean? So where are you on too much on one side of the spectrum and not on the other? And that's where you need to kind of weigh it out. So yeah, Scorpio, I kind of feel like what you really need to hear right now is that where are you maybe doing a little bit too much or taking things to extremes in some way with your work or with something that you're focused on, which is really cool and everything, but where do you need to kind of find the balance with that? Where is it maybe affecting you in some way? You know what I mean? So that is what I'm getting for you guys. Alrighty, Sag. So this new moon is happening for you guys in your 5th house sector of your joy, fortune, children, romance, where you have fun, where you live, laugh, love, basically. You know, where you have fun, where you go, like, you know, do things that you like to do, whether it's shopping, sports, TV, parties, you know, like whatever. And so this new moon here is a new beginning in that area of life for you. So there could be a new project or a new hobby that you're starting around this time. There could be, you know, something new coming up here with your kind of like your joy. Something new, a new beginning of something that you enjoy, or a new beginning with children in some ways, with Venus here as well. You know, this is definitely a time where you have been really focused on possibly creativity or something like that. Now, I do see here, we do have the Two of Cups, so possibly a romance situation coming up here for some of you guys, plus Venus is in your 5th house, and then we do have the Death card. So this could be a massive transformation of a relationship that kind of goes by really quick. or even traveling or something like that, that maybe you didn't see coming, or that kind of happens at the last minute with this Pluto energy. Now, also, Pluto's in your second house of money and resources, so that could tie into this as well. Money, resources, assets, what you have, what you own. Let's go ahead and see what your other cards have to say here. And this doesn't have to be like a bad change, you know, like I don't think it's going to be bad for like all of you. This could just be, you know, maybe you meet someone new. That's a change within itself, or maybe an existing romantic relationship that you have, you know, is like rebirthed in some way or rekindled in some way, you know, or the dynamics in the relationship are changed in some way. But this could be bringing out certain insecurities that you have with Pluto in the second house, especially about what you have to offer, which really would go with that Two of Cups as well. Okay, so we have retreat. We have feminine energy, which I talked a lot about in the beginning. And we have integration. Look at that. Okay, so this is a time to integrate your feminine energy, Sag. Can't be more clear than that. Time to integrate your feminine energy, to go within, to be okay with yourself, to be okay with your womb. I would be careful around this time. A lot of you guys could be pretty fertile, okay, unless you want to be fertile. So yeah, I would just like, this is definitely an integration of feminine energy for you. There could be some fears that come up because of a need to integrate your feminine energy that result in you needing to face these fears to integrate this feminine energy. So that is what I'm getting for you, Sag. Moving on to Capricorn. All right, Capricorn, so for you, this new moon is happening in your 4th house sector of home and family. So this is a new beginning in the home life, or with the family, or with your roots, your foundation. You could be, there's some kind of new beginning happening here. You could be planning to move. And remember, these are just like the seeds being planted. So it just may be inspirations or ideas to start off with. It may not be something like quite physical just yet. And for some of you, it could be, okay? It just really depends. But yeah, there's some kind of new beginning happening here with your home and your family, your foundation, your security, your stability, your roots, you know, your past, also ancestry and real estate, property, all of these types of things. So some kind of new beginning happening with here. This new moon is shedding light on that, but it's also in a square with Pluto, as is Venus. So this could be bringing up, you know, Pluto's in your sign, so this could be bringing up some insecurities or control issues, power issues, jealousy issues, possessiveness issues that you have, that or that you have about yourself that need to be addressed, okay? Something here needs to be faced and addressed and transformed within yourself for you to move forward. You know, and with it squaring Venus, this could also be something to do with like children or a family member where there's some fears or some shadow aspects that get brought up there. So we have the 4 of Cups, so feeling a little bored, dissatisfied, or over it, or not really being able to see what's right in front of you in some way because you want the 9 of Cups. It's like, no, I want the 9 of Cups. These 4 of Cups aren't shit. So it's kind of like you want to hurry up and get to a certain place, but it's like you got to take it one step at a time. Page of Pentacles, you have to take your time. You have to build the foundation before you can put the house on it. You know what I mean? And so whatever that I know you emotionally really want to get to somewhere, or you have certain dreams that you want to get to, but there's a similar message for Aries as well, but it's kind of coming up for you too. And you also may need to face some control issues that you have. You know, this could be coming from a need to control, a need to possess. Okay, we have ancient wisdom. Wow, yeah, like I said, the 4th house deals with ancestry, stripping illusions, sacred space. Okay, so what needs to be accepted from your past, with your roots, with your home, with your family? Where do illusions need to be stripped? Where do you need to see what's really going on? Hopefully that resonates. Definitely let me know down below. And moving on to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius, so this new moon for you is happening in your 3rd house of siblings, distant relatives, your environment, your kind of day-to-day movements and busyness, schedules, communications, the mind, your errands, all of these things. So this could be a time where you are more busy, you know, where you may be learning something new or learning a new skill or something along those lines, where you are, you know, kind of maybe having a lot more to do, something along those lines. But there's some kind of new beginning happening in that area of life for you. This, you know, the 3rd house can also be like, I think of like websites and blogs and writing and, you know, stuff like that. And kind of connecting to people in your environment or people not too far from you in some way. So, or just learning something new or learning a new skill in some area. So you are definitely possibly, you know, kind of feeling that energy around this time. But with Pluto squaring this new moon and Venus, there could be some stuff coming up from the past, or something that you kind of didn't see before, or even some fears that you have or some insecurities that you have that need to be faced and addressed around this time. Okay, or even some insomnia, Pluto in your 12th house, some issues sleeping or some issues focusing that, you know, are going on in your subconscious realm, you know, some subconscious issues that you're having here that need to be faced, or that are challenging this new beginning for you to look at. Okay, so yeah, something here needs to be faced in your subconscious world. You know, there could be some things coming up emotionally for you as well too. And then we have justice as well. So something needs to be internally balanced out here, I feel. And also, you know, there may need to be some truth that is spoken, or some truth that is felt and accepted within. Okay, let me see what your other cards say here as well. This could be like a friend or a sibling or something as well. This could have something to do with like a friend or a sibling, or a certain close connection in your life, or a certain conversation that needs to be had in some way that deals with something from the past, or some kind of insecurity, or some kind of you know, change or shift or intensity that comes up that, you know, you may need to look at here. So all right, let's see. We have letting go. That could definitely be a big one. Pluto in your 12th. Sacred space. And teaching. Wow. Some of you could be, like I said, some of you guys could be learning something new or trying to teach someone something. But yeah, this is interesting. So what do you want to allow into your space and whatnot? What do you want to give your energy to and whatnot? And that's what needs to be the focus, you know, for the next week or so. Are you putting your energy in the right places, and is it being reciprocated? Is it important enough? You know, this is Aries energy. It's very much independent. It's not bouncing around all over the place. So this needs to be a little bit more like, okay, what needs to be let go of? What needs to be in your space or out of your space, okay? And also, you know, what do you need to learn? You know, you could be learning something new, a new skill this week as well. That could very well have something to do with a job, something that you're doing on a day-to-day basis, or that becomes somewhat of a routine or part of your schedule in some way. So that is what I'm getting for you, Aquarius. Hopefully that resonates. Let me know down below. And we are going to move on to Pisces, last but not least. So Pisces, this Aries new moon is happening in your 2nd house sector all about money, assets, your belongings, what you own, your possessions, you know, what you feel you have to offer, your sense of security, you know, anything that you have in life, like any physical thing that you have in life, and also even metaphorically what you feel like you have, you know, your self-worth, etc. So this is a massive time. There could be something new that you're doing to generate money, or some kind of new beginning with money, assets, belongings, or something new that you're buying. I would just say, though, be careful when it comes to marketing, networking, like scams, things like that around this time. Also be careful of like shady friends, shady social circles, like toxic situations with other people, you know, because this new moon could be shining a light on something to do with other people that you didn't see before. Okay, and it could, because all this energy is happening in your second house, that could have something to do with money. So just be on the lookout about that. Yeah, okay. So you could be feeling a little bit, like I said, so we have Judgment, definitely some kind of truth possibly coming out, or, you know, it could be that you are in the middle of, you know, being resentful or forgiving. It could also be that you are trying to see another side to a situation, a higher side to a situation that hurt you in some way, or that has been hurting you in some way. You could be feeling betrayed. Watch out for people this week, Pisces, okay? Definitely watch out for people this week. Also, you could end up being the peacemaker as well in a situation. That could be for some of you. Let's see what other cards come up here for you, Pisces, for this Aries new moon. Okay, so we have divine timing. Let's see what else. We have inner journey. Gosh, too many cards. Calm down. Truth, look at that. Okay, so this week, you may be like, how come I didn't know about this sooner? Or how come I didn't see this sooner? Why did it take me so long to see this? Or how did I just now find out about this? There could be a situation like that. And it's kind of like, for whatever reason, you were supposed to just now find out. It was supposed to be like that. Okay. Also, inner journey, this is taking you inward to really address any security issues that you have, any self-worth issues that you have, and truth, like we already basically talked about, you know, major truths coming up this week. So that is basically everything, and that is what I'm getting for you, Pisces, and all of the signs. I hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely let me know down below if anything resonated, and yeah, I will see you guys in my other videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.